Greetings, Starseed children. I am Akashra Ezrate. Welcome to our channel. I wanted to be able to talk about a few of my experiences with my multidimensional higher selves, starships, galactic ships that are our ships. So hopefully you'll be able to open up and to expanding consciousness. I'm going to be able to start at the beginning of my experiences with my higher selves, my multidimensional higher selves. The first one would be in 2009. 2009, I had my first experience with an angelic human me, from a future race. So they were galactic races that were coming to me for the awakening of the gates going open fully. So I know that now, and I didn't know anything then. So I had profound experiences where one, which is actually me, multidimensional me, a higher dimensional being and higher harmonic, that's an angelic, and the angelic was able to come to me, who's just me coming to me. Okay, so this one was more masculine energies, and looked like a man in silver and white, that was absolutely beautiful. Would not be able to show me features anyways, because the vibrational frequencies were so high. It was a plasma body. So plasma body is obviously going to be the higher harmonic universe, higher harmonic plasma system. I believe there was a little bit of matter, most likely a little bit of what we would think is skeleton structure, but it's a plasma skeleton structure. So it was just me coming to me, and it was an angelic human, and that was my first experience in 2009. Didn't know anything about it, and I actually went to a beautiful star reader that just said it's a galactic race that most likely is trying to make contact with you. But I realized later on it's just a multidimensional me from another time cycle. So that was the beginning process. At that point in time, I was located in Miami, right in the middle of what I tell all of my students, right on top of a huge, massive bohemian graveyard. So right smack dab in the middle of Coconut Grove, which was very like a multi-dimensional reality grid. Time portals, thank you. Many time portals in this location. And of course I would be there, because I'm sure that the fully conscious one, which is the future self of me, was most likely doing doing what we're supposed to be doing. So the next experience I had was very simple. And I know I had more experiences before that, but most likely your memory will go. So I always could keep my memory. It was when I started going quantum and fully quantum. When I started going fully quantum, which is interesting, fully quantum is when my memory was going. So once I started going quantum, I was actually losing my memory. So I always had, my memory always stuck. When I woke up, I could remember anything and everything in my dream state. So it was very vivid. So my pineal gland was obviously very active. I also know why. It's actually because I never had dental work, and as you can tell, you can tell that I haven't had any dental work. My higher self told me that's actually the reason why. I was able to remember my dreams. I didn't have many calcium deposits around my pineal gland. Everything was done for a reason. Okay, so I realized it's okay if my teeth are crooked. It's okay if I never had dental work because of the fluoride and everything else. It actually, there's certain chemicals that will shut down everything. So, kind of long story short, the higher self, the oversoul, the universal soul showed me why I was able to remember all my dreams, all my experiences. It's because the pineal gland, the Godhead networks, and also the pituitary gland systems were very active. So I'm okay with no dental work. Yeah. So, all right, moving on. we're going to kind of just move on through that. I know I had other experiences. So important is I started doing what you call mediumship work, but it was more galactic work through Stargates, and we'll go into the reason why. Okay, so I'm gonna say my higher self is really excited about making its grand entry. This is, I call it the one that is in charge of the vessel, if you want to say, and the one that is the head of the ship, our massive starship. Okay, it's actually really beautiful. So, didn't really know who I was as a star child. Also a royal family of Andromeda galaxy systems, and you can say that it was chosen to have contracts in the Andromedan galaxies. I'm not from the Andromeda galaxy systems, and I actually do know that too as well. I took a divine partnership, which is a little bit different. A little bit different in the Andromeda galaxy, but my husband is a galactic guardian council member. Okay, so royal marriage from Andromeda galaxy, and I actually know that I'm not from there. I do remember. I remember a lot actually of future timelines too as well, if you want to say, because there is no time and space, and everything is simultaneously running. So you have to understand. I feel like we're backwards in time. Okay, and I do have to make this about 30 minutes, but we're backwards in time. So future self this is Earth time, and I am there in the 3000s and 4000s. You could say it's a walk-in, but it's not. However it is that you want to perceive this transmission is how you perceive it. So I was able to fully access all of this. So there are humanoid, if you want to say, hybrid humans, and we're going to say angelic humans. Yeah, that's what we're going to say today, guys. I was talking to my council members that are here. So angelic human is what we are in the future. Parallel Earth. So some people call it Eartha. Andromeda, Aurora. So Andromeda galaxies. So it's a galaxy. So you have to understand how massive it is and how many systems and everything else is inside of it once you know. And systems that are hidden systems. Yeah. All kinds of stuff that we wouldn't know about, right? And we wouldn't. So it's okay. So kind of moving on. So I was having always dreams because I had the third eye open in the thymus. So I was able to access at a certain point, 2010, 2009, I was able to access dream state, and I met another multidimensional angelic. And this is another angelic Pleiades, and another multidimensional from another time and space is another male. You can call it a guide, but it's not. It's me. Me looking at me. I don't know how to explain it more than that. So I realized that this was me, and I went on this crazy goose chase and everything else. This wild goose chase, and it actually was just Pleiades, humanoid, if you want to say, that was a multidimensional, knowing that I could make that full connection, eye contact. They have brown eyes and really beautiful. Knew it was very high angelic. Most people would probably think it's an archangel, but it's not. That is an angelic human from another time cycle. So we had like over hundreds and hundreds of spirits. We call it spirits, but they're actually souls. So I had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of souls in my house, in my dream state, hundreds of them. And I realized that that was for our Stargate. Because you have to understand that the higher self knows what it's doing. Okay, the one that runs the ship that's a Stargate. Okay, so that one knows what it's doing, and the human vessel doesn't. So I remember waking up and I was telling them to get out. to get out. I would like get out of my house, you know, and that's been like that for 10 years. So in the waking state, because I can actually see, I can see a lot coming in, a lot. And that was the unconscious awakening. Didn't understand what was going on. Okay, so all right, so moving on, I realized later on that they were souls coming to me because I'm an angelic. And I also started to remember that I'm actually a galactic commander, but I'm a chief and commander. So I actually started to remember that too eventually. It's a multidimensional experiment, yeah, experiment for some, experience, a remembrance for others. So it all depends. It would be an experiment for a while, and it is an experience, and then it will be just an experience after a while. So very much lots of wisdom inside. So more experiences that I had, and I started having these experiences, and then I had the best experience. One of my best experiences was in a higher part, northern Florida. So I was in northern Florida, and I had a really cool experience with the multidimensional. Yeah, a female Andromedan. Okay. So this is past the gates, 2012, 2013, probably 2014 actually. So 2014, you can call it my dream state, but I don't call it a dream state, okay? I call it the passings in between. The passings between the filters. Somebody will know what I'm talking about. The passing between the filters. It's not a dream, okay? You can call it the astral realms or astral, whatever you want to call it, your ethers. To me, it's not. It's something coming through to my ship and disturbing my ship, okay? So it's a filter, in a sense. And I realized this later because I was what you call awake, but awake in the dream state, so awake and awake. And it was a beautiful experience that I had where my Andromedan jumped up out of bed, a huge blue being, and I'm a giant blue being. I'm a giant feline blue being with a staff and a huge staff, and I was just moving footwork, like I call it footwork, and I do teach a little bit about it. Footwork with the legs, but I'm a giant Andromedan. I'm a massive being, obviously, in a bed, which is even funnier. It's my ship, and you're actually coming through my filter systems, and I have my baby, and so you'll jump me up. It was jumping me out. It wasn't the highest place either. So me and her were still obviously in a 4-dimensional grid, is what it was. Transforming, we actually had to upgrade our bodies, and in order to, and it's like a crystal chamber bed, if I'm going to call it that. It's our crystal chamber bed. Something came through the filter, and it jolted my highest version of me, and I have a higher one. But it jolted that one up, and it was me as a huge giant, like 10 to 12 foot being, and it is me, and jumping up, but I'm an Andromedan, okay? And it was awesome experience, and I was able to see what this Andromedan does really fast with footwork, moving in different directions, actually moving in different coordinates, light teleportation, and also had a really cool staff. So that was another, you can call it whatever you want to, but some people would say that I obviously integrated, most likely when the gates went open, because I would have to, because my guardianship would be towards my daughter. That one would have to integrate very fast, very, very fast in the physical as fast as possible when the gates would open, because we have a beautiful diamond child, okay, that is a crystalline, so very important of guardianship, all right? So, and we were trying to pass through the gates and the stargates, so I could see the acceleration that most people would see their multidimensionals away from them, out of their body, in their morphogenetic field, not fully waking up as them. So it was like if you were to see the Avatar movie, that's what they somewhat look like. Very similar though, and a little bit different too. So this one was just full blue being, and then the husband is there too, which is even funnier. There's two of us, right? And so that one would be outside because the Andromedan is the full integration during that time, but there's the partner, the marriage, that angelic genetic mate. Those are actually angelic genetic mates. Okay, they don't. It's nothing like human consciousness. Just put it that way. It's like aeons together, if that makes any sense. So it's like forever born together. Everything else, it's really genetic mates, and so that was that experience that I had, and that was one of them. Okay, so that was a really cool experience, and I realized what happened later, because I would always have these really funny, profound experiences in the fourth dimension, guarding, guarding in a sense. And it's just guarding. It's all different types of guardings, guardings, missions and contracts that I had over in that realm of Florida. So then there was more integrations after that. And you can call it integrations, but it's a multidimensional experience. And I had full communication to the God realms, all right? So avatar consciousness came very fast in the physical vessel and the consciousness for a very long time. The only thing is that it was a very fast integration. And I had angelic humans, multiple angelics, full integrations with Shiva, full integrations with Ra, different, and that was 2018. I know that. So those were what you call the gods and the goddesses. Is you do a full body integration with those, because it's a multidimensional experience. So we have that one, and then so Andromedan to me was the most full embodiment knowing, if that makes sense, because I always could see the multidimensional shifting in me, and that's okay. You can call it shape shifting, but that's just we call it the fourth dimension, but you shape shift. So it's all shape shifting, and that's what they would tell me because of all these belief systems. Okay, so people will freak out. They see you multidimensionally shifting, and they go into what we call the old system of the matrix controls, which would be dogmas and all that hilarious light and dark stuff. So my counsel sat with me and said, just go look in the mirror, and I did, and I shifted into the feline Andromedan. It says, this is what you look like, beyond the veils. And of course, the human self will freak out, but I realize it says you're Andromedan, and I like we're Andromedans, okay? Like, it was really funny, and so it says this is what you are. You're a feline being, okay? Really beautiful, actually, and really very beautiful, and sparkles and blues and hues, and just amazing to see myself like this. But your ego will tell you all kinds of funny stuff as you go up and you drop down. And it's the chosen contracts that I chose, that I was multidimensionally all over the place, is what I say. So the dreams got even cooler as we go on. Okay, so these are what we call galactic experiences. Eventually I could see myself in dream state. Now, not training simulations, because I have a guardian that would wake me up through training simulations to make sure I wasn't, that wasn't happening to me. So it was multidimensional experiences where I was actually seeing myself teleporting as a galactic high chief and commander. Okay, and that's how I learned. I was able to see myself teaching people how to teleport through quantum light technology. In a sense, coordinates, and it is some of it's numbers, if you want to say, but that's what I saw, and how to teleport through and translocate, and I'm the actual teacher, and I was able to see that I'm a chief and commander in the dream state. So I woke up, I was able to see how everything is done, teleporting and translocating through equations, codes, light codes, but a lot of it looks like numbers, different types of sequences of geometric numbers and stuff like that. It's all blue in frequency, so I know that. So when I woke up, I was like, whoa, this is the coolest experience I ever had. I remembered it, of course. I said, this one is cool. I was like, well, that's awesome. We dress a little bit different. I've had other ones where I do, that probably would be training simulations, but I would go to sleep and I would be with other galactics and we would be teleporting. Okay, and teleporting, and we teleport, like teleporting. We levitate. Okay, so it's levitation, and we use coordinates, and some of us actually can move our legs like this, and it's Merkaba, and move different directions. It's like you're levitating in a Merkaba, and you're it's quantum, so it's plasma, and you're kind of like jumping through hoops. I don't know how to explain it, but the elliptical, if you guys ever do the elliptical one day, anybody who likes the elliptical, that's exactly what it feels like, except for there's no equipment. So it's levitation. So that was amazing too, and that's another galactic timeline too as well, and I know that. So I've had other ones too, and we're going to keep it short. So the most amazing one that I had is that one day I was able to go up and to see my ship, and I could see my husband actually with beautiful long hair and gold, full gold, gold High Council member outfit. I don't know how to explain it. It was all gold. It was really beautiful, and he had long hair. Absolutely beautiful tall man in gold. And he is obviously a High Council member, and he wears gold. He had dark brown hair, and I knew right away he is my higher self. You would have to understand that we are fully integrated, but this is the starseed husband, I guess you would say. You could call it a starseed, but we're also multidimensional too. We understand multidimensional, so hopefully you'd understand that. He's an angelic human from Andromeda. Okay? And I knew right away that it was my husband. Right away when I went up and I was standing on this golden pod, and it looked like the most beautiful golden Stargate ship. It was a huge, massive Stargate. It was gold Stargate. Oh, most beautiful you can even imagine. And I don't know what he was doing, but he had all these little plugins. Not in him, but he was doing something to the switchboard. It's like, I don't know what he did actually, but he was absolutely beautiful, and he's an angelic human, and he's on a plasma system, so he's quantum, and he'll always look very odd to anybody. But I was standing there, and I knew this was our ship, I knew it was a Stargate. It's most likely something me and him were trying to recorrect, it seems like. So he needed to pull me up for us to get it done together. And I was teleported and levitated up. And it's just, there's no words to describe when I see them. And that would be my husband. And I have multidimensionals that dress like him too in gold. But those are my family that are able to access the vessel because of certain timelines in 2020. So those ones look like feline, white race, crystallized feline races. Beautiful, white crystallized races and they have ponytails and they look like us and they're very beautiful. But they're crystallized, crystal white races, and they wear gold too as well. So it's the most beautiful gold dressing outfits that you would ever see, because I've seen ones in red, and I have seen ones in red and other colors, and they don't look like them. So I know that we're obviously from somewhere. I'm gonna have to say a higher council member is what I see. We're higher council members, and I know that a different type of royal family. You can tell by the difference between the blue, the red, galactic outfits that they wear. This is all royalty gold. There's also blue too as well. Blue would be blue elder cloaks. It will look like cloaks, but it's not. Is robes, blue robes, blue dark indigo robes, and we wear gold. So you can see that there's a little bit something different, right? And you will see the different frequency outfits that they do have. So it was a beautiful experience, and I realized that that's our starship, and I was able to access it and to teleport with him, and he has been able to fully integrate as I awoken to remember him. And once I remembered him, we just know that those are the next levels of us bringing into the collective consciousness everything that needs to come in templates in order to awaken the indigos and star children and others here on the planet that are going to be remembering their galactic origins too as well. Remembering who they are and remembering their family, remembering their multidimensionals, remembering their comrades too as well, what galactic commanders that they worked with. And I've seen all different types of galactic commanders, so all different types of frequency outfits and all kinds of really cool stuff, and travelers. So it all depends on what's coming in. So I wanted to share that it was the most beautiful Stargate ship that I've ever seen, and I'm very blessed that I was able to see all this. I was blessed I was able to see him again. I've even tried to walk up many times to see how close I could get to it, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful gold Stargate ship, and it's our ship. It was very just beautiful, and I was able to see all of the multidimensionals. I was able to see all of our family too as well. I was able to see the ones that wear the gold outfits, and it's very let me see how much I don't know how to say it, but it looks like it actually is made in gold. So it's like gold jewelry, gold. It's not like lace or anything. It's actually like real gold. So I don't know how to explain it. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's something a little bit from our past timelines too. So you can see where some of the outfits came from, but it was. I know that he's a multidimensional being too, and also I guess a hybrid, different star origins. He's not just one star origin. So that was really cool. And I've been able to see all different types of multidimensionals and multidimensional me's since then. So you want to be able to get to know them and to get to know your higher selves, get to know your councils. I have some women, some, the Galactic Chief and Commander is actually the woman, and also my Andromedan is the woman too as well. So, but I have mostly males. So it's like I said, well, that definitely would make sense. So I love you very much. I wanted to just be able to share these experiences with you. And I've had other experiences with starships, and I can usually see the starships, always see my starships in the backyard. They look like solar light and blue light. I see the starships above the house. The gold ship is with us too, as well. The gold ship to me is more of the full ship. Yeah. We have different types of ships, pyramid ships too as well. And very massive, large ships in the backyard or above the house. So I've seen them in trees too, and those are our ships. And also I station them where they're supposed to be. Most of the time we have a lot coming in. I work with a lot of Arcturians and Andromedans too as well. And I have a multidimensional Arcturian, a few of them. So I've met a lot of my multidimensionals already. So it's always a full house. So I hope you guys enjoy this. And just remember to go out and to look for your ships and to start seeing your ships in your backyard. Those of you that are commanders and children of the light and star children, galactic guardians, so you can remember, so you can turn on your ships, so you can drive your ships. Just remember that they're there. Okay. All right, so I'm sending love to you very much.